Welcome back to Living Local. We're out and about at Advanced Hearing Aid Service in Moline because I need to get my hearing tested. We're going to walk you through the process today and explain why this is such an important health check to prioritize. We're joined by Mike Roush with Advanced Hearing Aid Service. Okay, so first of all, why is it important, Mike, to get our hearing tested?
Well, we think everyone should get their hearing tested just in case. I mean, you go to the doctor and have a checkup and you come here and get your hearing tested. You'd complained a little bit the last time we talked about some tinnitus as a result of a loud burst of noise in your ear. And so it just doesn't hurt to get it checked. We don't expect to find any problem with you this morning, but you never know. So we thank you for coming in. We got some information here. We'll get some more as we go along. And that's about all I have to say to start with.
All right, so Mike, yeah, I haven't had my hearing tested since I was in elementary school, so this is a new process for me. I'm not sure what to expect. What should someone bring to a hearing test?
Just your smiling face and a loved one. Most people know whether they have a hearing loss or not. If they have a hearing loss, you want to bring a significant other. We'll explain that probably a little bit later. As a matter of fact, we'll explain all this a little bit later. We're gonna look in your ears and we're gonna give you a hearing test, and then we'll know a little bit more about your specific case.
Awesome. Okay, so what's the first step?
Well, I'm going to take a look in your ears. Now, I've already glanced in your right ear, so I'm just going to look in your left ear. And it's kind of an impressive, scary thing. This is not, you do not look as good on this camera as you do at the TV studio.
So tell me more about the software, the technology you're using.
I'm not a computer guy. I don't know anything about the software.
Okay.
We'll bring somebody in. All I know is it works. What I'm going to do is just stick that in your ear, and we're going to focus that a little bit, and then I don't know how well they can see that at home, but that's your eardrum, or a big portion of it. That's the rear portion of your eardrum, and then you can just see the foot plate of the ossicular chain there, a little white node. And we see no holes or perforations, and we see no earwax, and everything looks fine. We've already looked in her other ear. It would look the same.
So if you were checking someone's hearing, and what would be some red flags that something's wrong?
Holes or perforations, wax, impaction, are the main things.
Wow, okay.
And then you can see tumors and all of that. I mean, there can be some nasty things that show up. Just anything out of the ordinary, we send people to the doctor.
Got it. So after you check the inside of the ear, then what's the next step?
We're going to put you in the refrigerator over there.
Ooh, sounds exciting. All right, Mike, time to go into the controlled acoustic environment. So tell me what I'm doing here.
You have a seat, and I'm going to put the headphones on you. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand when you hear tone, even if you barely hear it. We'll test your right ear for a little while, and then your left ear. Now, we're going to leave the door open. Ordinarily, we do make this a soundproof booth, but for the purposes of this interview, we're going to leave the door open.
Okay.
Hopefully, you're not claustrophobic.
Nope, not at all.
So, if you can hear me all right,
yep.
You're going to hear tone in your right ear. Can you hear that? Raise your hand. Okay, so we found no hearing problems, and so we're going to not test anything else for bone conduction to see where the hearing problem comes, because we don't have any.
Okay.
So let's go back over here.
Awesome. So Mike, can you walk us through the results of the controlled environment?
I can. Your hearing is all in the normal range. We're tested for low pitches like this, 250 cycles per second, to high squeaky ones, the human speech range, and everything was in the normal range, although you're not going to win any hearing competitions.
I knew that.
You do have a little, still in the normal range, but a little high frequency problem, which you'd monitor every 5 years or so, or if you notice any changes in your hearing. But we found no hearing loss, so therefore we didn't need to conduct any further tests about where the hearing loss comes from. We do not recommend you do anything about your tinnitus because of what you told me the other day about how it's under control, hardly ever bothers you. If someone has some tinnitus, there's some counseling, some things we can do, some personal devices that we can give them, although when I say give, there's a cost.
Sure.
And of course, if people have a hearing loss, there's things we can do for that as well. But in your case, we thank you for coming in. We won't charge anything for the free hearing test, and we'll send you on your way with the instructions to get it tested anytime there's a change or about every 5 years.
Gotcha. So people should get their testing done every 5 years. Now, who should be getting their testing done?
Well, we think anyone that's having a problem, but anybody over 50 should, and that's kind of that's not a standardized thing, but anybody over 50, anyone suffering or having people tell them that they don't hear very well, noticing that they don't hear as well as they used to, and of course the restaurants, loud background noise, these kind of things is where you first start noticing it. You also can notice if it seems counterintuitive, but if loud noises start to bother you, that's a sign of hearing loss too. And so that's one thing people can be aware of.
Perfect. Now, as I leave today after knowing that everything is in the normal range, anything that I can be doing proactively to maintain good hearing?
Great question. Yes, don't listen to loud noise when they go to the tax layer and they turn that so much, and you have a noise meter that says it's damagingly loud, go complain. We went to the Iowa game the other day, and the crowd was very noisy, 95 decibels. But the speaker system was 105 decibels. It's inexcusable. I sound bitter, but yes, avoid loud noises, but keep listening to normal levels of loudness. It's good exercise for your hearing.
Okay, great to know. Mike, if someone out there is interested in getting their hearing tested, how can they go about doing that?
They could call us at any one of our numbers. You're probably going to give those later, but we have a mobile testing facility that's going to be in Moline, I think, next week. We're in Clinton, DeWitt, and Muscatine in this month, and we're always glad to see them in Bettendorf or here in Moline.
Perfect. Well, Mike, thank you so much for letting us stop by and for checking my hearing.
I was glad to do it.
You can visit Advanced Hearing Aid Service at its Moline or Bettendorf location. These details will also be posted on ourquadcities.com. More Living Local continues after this break.